What's up everyone, I'm IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about beer, but not any beer. We're talking about Great Notion Brewery that's located in Portland, Oregon. Now these beers are sold out, really hard to find, and there's a reason for that. They self-distribute. And when I say self-distribute, they'd rather you do the line and buy the beers directly at the brewery, and they have special releases, but you'll rarely find them in other markets since they're focused direct to consumer. Now, what does that mean? It means that they want to sell directly to you, and under the law, since we live in a three-tier system, a lot of the times the beers that we get the breweries, then we get the wholesalers, which do the distribution, and then we finally get the retail sector where you find all the products. They don't believe in this concept. What they believe in is that they have their own app, and I have to say, this is the most innovating thing I've ever seen up to now in the industry. This app is just crazy. You go to their website, and I put a link below, you download the app, and right away, you get a pitch, and you're a greenhorn. And as you move up the ladder, you get better and better perks. But how do you do that? Well, every time you have one of their beers, you take a picture of it, and as you go and mark off every beer that they make, you move up the ladder, giving you more options, earlier releases, swag, and other perks. This app is just crazy. And when we look at the characters that they've put together for each can that tie into the app, this is an insane body of work. I am so impressed with this brand. This is really cutting edge to direct to consumer, and other breweries really need to pay attention to these beers. They are just amazing in every way. The direct to consumer is insane, and the packaging is also insane. But let's dig a little deeper and get into the technicals of them first, and then we'll get to the tasting notes, and we can talk about the app also. All right, so let's start with the Great Notion Superstar. This has an ABV of 6. And this IPA is a hop blend of Mosaic, Simcoe, Galaxy, Vic Secret Hops. Then we have the Ripe IPA. This is brewed with Citra hops, and the ABV is 7%. Then we have the Juice Invader IPA. This is brewed with a massive amount of Galaxy hops from Australia, and the ABV is 7%. Then we have the Big Papaya. This is a tart ale, aka sour ale, that is brewed with papaya, and the ABV is 6%. Then we have the Mango Coconut Mochi IPA that has an ABV of 7%. And then finally, we have the Night of the Living Squatch. This is an Imperial Stout with chocolate, maple syrup, marshmallow flavor, and cinnamon. Now, when we look at the packaging in these, you just saw, these are so good. I mean, the graphic design on here is amazing. It's very precise. It's very all tied in together. This is just pure consistency. And in the app, they tie it all back, which is just mind-blowing to me. There is so much work that has been put into the packaging of this, the formula, the storytelling. I mean, this is just on another level. All right, let's take a look at the tasting note. But before that, do you want to taste like a pro? Head over to tastingskills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. But also, if you're interested in getting a sober hat or a beautiful sober t-shirt, then you could also head over to tastingskills.com, and when you're there at checkout, put the code IAMOBG and you will get free shipping. All right, now let's get to these beers. Starting with, of course, the Great Notion Superstar IPA. The color is brownish yellow, and it is very, very hazy. On the nose, you get this nice hop with some pineapple, bananas, orange blossom. On the mouthfeel, it's delicate with layers of fruit and hops, but this is juicy and light, not a big IPA. This is a drinker, and frankly, this is more my style since they didn't overhop it, and this delivers real balance. This was a solid beer. I really love the balance on here. It wasn't over the top. I'm not a fan of big IPA that are just out of control. this was just a great drinker. Let's move on to the Great Notion Ripe IPA. On the color, you get this very hazy yellow with some brown hints. On the nose, this nose is flat and you can't get much out of it, but there is some light zesty fruit like oranges and some tangerine, but this is mostly mute. On the mouthfeel, this is really juicy and you get some great fruits on this like green apple, bananas, oranges, and drives a long acidity that gives you a long finish that is malty. And once again, this ripe just stays within the style. It is very juicy. It's not over hop. It's again another great drinker, and the overall balance was great. The nose wasn't huge, but the mouthfeel was really good, and like I said, this is just a good drinker. All right, let's move on to the Juice Invader IPA. On the color, once again, very hazy, light yellow. On the nose, this is also very close, but you get some roasted malts and hints of caramel, but this is light and delicate. The hops don't really show themselves. On mouthfeel, this has the most acidity, and it's just a juice bomb, since the acidity just drives everything in this beer, and the balance is so good. Since the layers of the fruit are constant, and this is just a solid drinker. The acidity just pushes so many things, and no wonder this is called a Juice Invader. I mean, this is just the best out of the 3 IPA. It is super juicy. It just drives layers after layers after layers, and this gives you this long, lengthy finish that never stops going. This was the best out of the 3 IPAs. Let's move on to the Big Papaya Tart Ale. On the color, you get this beautiful reddish amber. On the nose, beautiful papayas, red apple, red pears, bubblegum, watermelon, tangerines, oranges, nectarines. This has some really nice aroma, and it's expensive, meaning it just fills the room the moment that you swirl it. On the mouthfeel, everything that was on the nose is delivered into this tangy acidity of layers that gives you this beautiful papaya. Red and green apples, red and yellow pears, watermelon, tangerines, and oranges into these layers of zesty lemon and lime. This has a solid acidity that just keeps on giving. The acidity on here was searing and mind-blowing, and that in turn just delivered never-ending layer of that papaya and those lovely fruit that I went through. It was just ongoing, did not slow down. This was so impressive. Just wow. I'm kind of awestruck how good this was. All right, let's move on to the mango coconut mochi. On the color, once again, super hazy yellow, dark rich brown to black. On the nose, the coconut just jumps at you, and the mochi is right behind it with the vanilla and the mango, all well balanced and into layers that keeps moving as you dig deeper in the glass. The vanilla is big on this one, and it dominates the nose with the coconut. On the mouthfeel, the vanilla just comes at you into layers that keep pushing the coconut and the mochi. That eventually delivers some hints of the mango, but nothing too fruity. This is mostly driven by the sweet notes of the vanilla. This is just dominated by the vanilla. I mean, it has beautiful coconut, beautiful vanilla, just layers upon layers upon layers. The mochi is in there. It's just really, really good. If you're a vanilla person, then this is definitely a beer for you. I mean, it had a lot of layers, and again, these beers are so well precisely made, and when they write something on the can, you're gonna find that flavor. Like, it is so good. I'm really impressed by the overall brewing at this point. All right, let's move on to the final one, the one that I'm holding in my hand, which is the Night of the Living Squash Imperial Stout, chocolate, maple syrup, marshmallow flavor, and cinnamon. On the color, you get this dark, rich brown to black. On the nose, just wow. This is just a monster nose, and it just fills the room the moment that I remove the lid. This is the only thing that you can smell, and it starts with marshmallows, maple syrup, and then the layers upon layers of the chocolate mixed with the Imperial Stout roasted black malt are just expensive. Insane nose. This is just a mouth attack of the marshmallow, burnt brown sugar, cinnamon, maple syrup into a dark chocolate that is delivered into a deep molasses. Now, this does have the acidity, and it just keeps pushing on the layers that I've said previously, and it's really intense. This has high alcohol, but the flavors are are just insane in here. This beer is on another level. If you're into Imperial Stout, if you're into marshmallow, this has so many layers. It's so complex. If I don't cover it, then it just destroys the room with its aromas. And the only thing you smell when it's not covered is this beer when you're tasting other beers. This is such a crazy beer. I'm absolutely in love with this. It is a little sweet. It is over a little the top here, but this just delivers on another level. All right, let's do a quick recap of what you should buy and what you should pass on. Starting with, of course, the Superstar IPA. This was a buy. It was good. It kind of gives you an idea of what they're doing at Great Notion, and I like this beer. Then we have the Great Notion, the Ripe IPA. This was also good. I would say it's a buy. I mean, they're very consistent in their brewing, and this was really good. Then we have the Juice Invader IPA. This is an absolute buy. This was so good, so well balanced. Love the acidity on here, the juiciness, just in love with it. Then we have the Big Papaya Tart Ale. This was also super good, really impressed. I cannot tell you how solid this beer is. It's an absolute buy. Then we have the Mango Coconut Mochi IPA. This was also a buy, so solid. This was such a great beer, and I'm impressed it wasn't oversweet. Then we have the Night of the Living Squatch Imperial Stout with chocolate, maple syrup, marshmallow flavor, and cinnamon is an absolute collector's item. This was so insane. The nose was out of control. This is at the top here this year. This is just an amazing beer, and you should absolutely seek out anything that this Great Notion Brewery is doing. You should go down there and download that app. That app is just mind-blowing. Like, I've seen a lot of innovation and people trying to push to engage consumers, but this is really the cutting edge. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think that I'm gonna see anything close to it for a very long time. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'm OBG for tastingskills.com. Thank you for watching. Once again, please remember to smash that like button, and you need to subscribe, so go down there and click the bell. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. Peace.